let's start here. And the elephant in the room, of course, is that the Buffalo Bills are not going to the Super Bowl. And 0-4 now, Sean McDermott and Josh Allen against Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and the Kansas City Chiefs. And for a lot of teams, you'd be like, yeah, we're the final two in the AFC, should be proud, be happy, and go on about your business. But, of course, yours truly is not buying into that. And I think if the Buffalo Bills are serious about winning a Super Bowl finally, Sean McDermott has to be fired. And it's not that Sean McDermott can't coach. It's not that Sean McDermott can't get another job somewhere else.
Right.
It's that there comes a time when you look on the milk carton and the milk is expired. That's what's happened to Sean McDermott. The milk is lumpy in Buffalo, and it has nothing to do with the cold. Since he's taken over, they fired every single coach that's there, and except Sean McDermott. So at some point, he is the common denominator. Now, unless you say we're going to move off of Josh, right? Because we don't think he can get it done or whatever. That's the reason. If you're going to go to that route, then maybe I'll buy into it. But you're not going to give up Josh Allen, a quarterback, for a coach. And a lot of people will go like, oh, it's ridiculous. They lose a game, prisoner of the moment. You want to throw everybody out. And if you don't win a Super Bowl, you're no good and you should be fired. There comes a time when teams that are serious just look at it and say, we can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results. He got hired in 2017, okay? He's 7-7 in the postseason, 500. But when he came to Buffalo, they had a long stretch. They weren't getting into the playoffs. He did that. Okay, he got that first step. They started making the playoffs on a regular basis. Bravo. Great. But he can't get them over the next hump. And that's where teams that are serious about it, teams that want to win, they go and they do the deed. And that's what the Buffalo Bills need to do. I'll just give you two examples. Andy Reid in Philadelphia went to 4 straight NFC Championship games, a Super Bowl. They lost in the Super Bowl, right? Eventually, they moved on from Andy Reid. Tony Dungy was doing a great job in Tampa Bay. Oh, my God, they're going to win a Super Bowl. Remember, they were an expansion team. They couldn't win a game. Give Tony Dungy all the credit. Got him to a certain level. Could not get over the hump. They get rid of Tony Dungy. John Gruden shows up with Tony Dungy's players, and by hook or by crook, they won the Super Bowl. You can say whatever you want. John Gruden's not a great coach. He didn't have any success after that, but he won the Super Bowl with Tony Dungy's team, and Tony couldn't get there. That's what I'm talking about. And Sean McDermott can go somewhere else, and maybe he winds up like Tony Dungy, who wound up going to Indianapolis and winning a Super Bowl. Or he's like Andy Reid, who goes to Kansas City, struggles for a few years, right? They make the playoffs. They can't win. Patrick Mahomes shows up, and now he's won 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah, so I want to one-up the Tony Dungy reference, though. Why can't it be the Tony Dungy to the Colts reference, where they couldn't get past the Patriots? They were just struggling. The Colts would go, fifth. Well, we didn't have 17, but they would go 12-5 or 13-3. They would be amazing, and Peyton Manning wins the MVP, but they couldn't get past Tom Brady and the Patriots until they finally did. When the Patriots go for it on 4th and 2, that epic play, they don't get it. The Colts go eventually win. They eventually get to a Super Bowl. Why can't it be more of that? If I'm looking at McDermott, I'm looking at it as, dude, the only person you can't beat is arguably one of the greatest coaches of all time and arguably going to end up being the greatest quarterback potentially of all time. So I'm looking at it as we keep getting the knocks at the door, the cracks at the door, and we're hoping that this thing will open. But if you look at who they're losing to, they're literally losing to one of the most potentially doing something that never has happened in the NFL. If they win in 2 weeks and three-peat, they will have done something that hasn't been done in the Super Bowl era. Let me make sure we say that correctly. And that, to me, is what you're losing to an insane anomaly versus it's a McDermott issue. Now, did he get out coached by Andy Reid? Yes, who doesn't? And did Josh Allen get outplayed by Patrick Mahomes? Again, yes. Who doesn't? So I don't think I have to overreact and then get rid of McDermott.
See, here's where I disagree with you. You look at it as you're trying to flip it and say, use that as a crutch. You didn't get blown out by 15 or 21 points where you weren't in the game.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't lost like that. That's not how they've lost. If you lose like that in a championship game and you're not on their level, then I buy you. Then I say, it won't matter who's the coach. Kansas City's so much better. Remember, they lost where Josh Allen marched them down the field. And don't forget, they kicked off with 13 seconds to go instead of squib kicking it that would have ate up 6 or 8. He directly lost that chance to go to the Super Bowl. You can say whatever you want. Oh, with 6 seconds, Mahomes still would have done what he did. No, he was the coach, and they didn't fire him on that. And now you keep losing. You're not getting blown out. You can't win the game.
And that's my point, is that when will the ball bounce our way? When will we get –
when will you coach right?
No, so here's my point. Oh, he definitely – I just said he got outcoached by Andy Reid. But my result can't just simply be I'm going to just get rid of him. There has to be, again –
he got rid of all the other all of the coaches that came with him. He got rid of.
And this team probably beats
why did he get rid of them?
If he feel like it wasn't working.
Okay.
But this team probably beats everybody in the entire NFL except, the team that nobody can beat, by the way, who literally beat everybody except one team, the Bills, during the regular season. This last game, they threw it away because they're preparing for the postseason. So the only team to really beat them thus far is the Bills. And so you're right there. You've beaten them now. You're 4-1 against them in the regular season in this era. You just have to figure out how to beat them in the postseason. So I don't want to overreact and get rid of them. But I want to, on the flip side, give more credit to the Chiefs and say this is exactly what they do. It's insane when you look at what Patrick Mahomes specifically does in these situations. It's absolutely ridiculous, the stats on what he does in the final minutes of a game. And when you're looking at what Patrick Mahomes is able to do when he's down 1 to 8 points in a game, it's pretty much curtains. He's going to drive his team down to score 13 of the 14 times. They're going to win the game. He is now, as you saw that, they're at 17-0 in one possession games. So to me, it's just more remarkable what they're doing, that they're simply this dominant, period. Doesn't matter who, doesn't matter how, they just don't lose. And I think that's, to me, ends up being more remarkable than necessarily me having an issue with the Bills. If you
keep Sean McDermott, you might as well go back to the Marv Levy days where you actually went to a Super Bowl 4 times and you stuck with the same guy because you believed that eventually it was going to happen for you. And guess what? Jim Kelly and all those great players up there wound up with 0. And we had one of them on the other day, Thurman Thomas, who said he would give his left arm for a Super Bowl. And he went to 4 straight. So at some point, you can't keep doing the same thing saying we're close.
Guy, Rob, the same guy
Levy, that's why they did. That's what they did with Marv Levy.
The same guy, Thurman Thomas, said he would rather have gone than not go. Meaning, we went 4 times. We got. That's on us. That's on us.
That's dubious.
If I get you to the Super Bowl 4 times, eventually some of that ain't on the coach. That's on y'all too. I done got y'all here 4 times. Y'all want to win one? Did you just want to tackle that guy, Elijah? Did you just want to make that catch? Kicker, do me a favor. How about wide straight down the middle? How about that? Not wide right. I done got y'all here 4 times, but y'all blaming me. At some point, I'm going to need you to make the play.
Would they give, just like you give Andy Reid credit? If they won, would you give?
Of course, he gets a part of the credit.
Right, so, but he doesn't get the blame.
No, he don't get all the blame. Okay, just like Patrick Mahomes gets majority of the credit.
He gets all the credit.
And Andy Reid gets some of the credit.
They get all the credit because they win.
No,
they get all the credit.
You sit here every day talking about Joe Montana.
Coach, Hey,
Elijah, he didn't talk about Joe Montana. I ain't heard him bring up Bill Walsh ever in my life.
No,
you ain't brought up Bill Walsh ever in my life, but you bring up Joe Montana. That's my point.
I didn't see Joe. I gave you Joe Montana's 4-0 in the Super Bowl.
Yes,
3 MVPs, 2 with Jerry Rice.
Wait, why are you giving me more Joe Montana?
I'm giving you because
that's my point.
Because no matter who was there, he was winning.
That's my point. We don't talk about Bill Walsh. We talk about Marv Levy.
5.
Marv Levy can't believe you just brought him up right now.
Nah, I'm going to always bring up Marv Levy because it's dubious.
I done got y'all to the promised land. I done took that horse to that daggone well. If you don't get to drinking, times I got to take you to the well.